This is Charlie Kao with Travel Mall in Durban, South Africa at Indaba travel trade exhibition with Martin Wiest, who's the CEO of Tourvest. We'll talk about the company a little bit, but since Tourvest is one of the oldest, most established, what's called a destination management company for African destinations. And Martin, you've been with Tourvest for 28 years.
Yes, correct. Tourvest is the company itself got founded in 1981.
Could you give me the timeline of how tourism has evolved for Tourvest over that time period? What was tourism when it first started, midway, now?
Well, tourism to South Africa has always been hampered by the previous political dispensation of apartheid. So when I entered the tourism industry, and I entered the tourism industry because I have a love for the country, its wildlife, its scenery, its visitors, and its people, most parts of the world boycotted South Africa as a tourism destination, and it was extremely small at the time. I started in 1987. I guess the biggest catalyst of our country was the release of Nelson Mandela in 1991 and then the first free and fair elections in 1994. And South Africa as a tourism destination has consistently grown ever since. And I guess for us as a company, we've grown along with the overall industry, managed to acquire a lot of business and grow, but it's only possible in a healthy tourism environment with healthy product and a superb price-value proposition which our destination has to offer. And the diversified tourist as it stands today has been contributing towards this and has been a beneficiary of the changes in South Africa, which have been fantastic.
Is wildlife travel arrangements your primary offerings, or how much of the cultural heritage, people, etc., urban cities do you include in your programs?
We do predominantly 60% FRT and 40% groups and group series, so we have a relatively balanced portfolio. Now, South Africa is a diversified destination, and wildlife plays a part in it, but I don't think wildlife is as dominant as a part as it would, for example, be in Botswana, Kenya, Tanzania, or Uganda. So our reality is that about a third of an itinerary of a passenger, and the average passenger spends 12 days in South Africa, so 3 to 4 days, is spent in one of our wildlife areas. I would say another third is spent in the bigger Cape Town region, and the other third is wherever that might be, on the garden route, in Johannesburg, or any other city for that matter. So it's broadly a third, wildlife, Cape Town, and then somewhere else.
Just to put our viewers in proper perspective, Tourvest is the largest and the oldest destination management companies in Africa, and based here in South Africa. If you put number 2, 3, 4, you told me, together, they don't make up your size. But as you say, what's your expression about size versus?
Yeah, in our case, I don't believe size in the tourism industry is actually all important. At the end of the day, it's about the people that you employ, and we believe strongly that we need to be large enough to matter and small enough to care. And it's reflected in the structure of our business. It's subdivided into entrepreneurial micro businesses because we want to offer the benefits of a large entity such as IT, such as pricing, such as the ability to take risk. But we want to combine them with the uniqueness of a company that is small enough to care about every customer. And that's a split that we do extremely well. We do that through brands and sub-brands like Welcome Tourism Services, Africa SST. But we also do that through an expansion on the African continent. We've got our own DMC in Namibia, in Botswana, in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. So we offer most parts of Africa that have a substantial tourism industry with individually managed focused business units.
And for our audience, most of whom wouldn't know, DMC, Destination Management Company, in Tourvest's case, They look after the ground arrangements, accommodations, activities, guides, etc., transportation, and of course air, in Africa's case, a lot of air charter service. And in Tourvest's case, they are 100% B2B, working business to business. So their clients are tour operators and other travel packagers, and not direct to consumer. But the consumer, a lot of them to Africa, would be serviced by Tourvest, a Tourvest company.
Yes, correct. At the end of the day, of course, there's in the tourism industry today, you've got multi-channel distribution philosophies. We believe very much that everybody in the value chain in the tourism industry has a reason for existence and must make sure that their value proposition is right. And our value proposition is towards our overseas wholesale customer. And they have a value proposition towards the retailer, who again owns the consumer that ultimately travels to South Africa. But I don't believe that one can be everything to everybody. So one has to focus, as our company, philosophically on a channel, and our channel of distribution is the wholesale channel.
Your website is
www.tourvestdm.com.
Right. Tourvest. Yes. Thank you, Martin Wiest, CEO of Tourvest.
Thank you very much, and nice to meet you here.